Chapter 8 of God Died at 3 o'clock by Reverend Gerald T. Brennan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Caesar wins. No one has tried to save Jesus from the cruel hands of the soldiers, not even Pilate. But the governor is unhappy, worried, and afraid. Jesus has done nothing wrong. This Pilate still believes, but he has allowed Christ to suffer. His own soldiers punished Christ, and he did nothing to stop them. Inside his palace, Pilate now meets the Man of Sorrows face to face. Pilate stares at the swollen face, the crown of thorns, and the scarlet cloak partly hiding the wounded body. The sight of the wounded Christ moves the cold heart of the Roman governor. Will it also soften the angry hearts of the Jews? Will Christ's enemies be satisfied now? Pilate hopes. Once again Pilate brings Christ before the Jews, and he looks at their faces for some sign of a change of heart. He sees none. "Look at this man!" cries Pilate in a voice that almost pleads for the crowd to have pity. The crowd, however, has no pity. "Crucify him! Crucify him!" they call back. Pilate's face pales. His weak effort has failed. How can he argue any more? "Take him, then, and crucify him. I find him guilty of no crime." Pilate is angry with the crowd and angry with himself because he knows he is a coward. The high priest and his followers are ready to take all blame for putting Jesus to death. But why, they wonder, should the Roman governor be so afraid? Why has Pilate tried so hard to save the prisoner? "This man ought to die," they tell Pilate, "because he says he is the Son of God." The Son of God! Jesus is the Son of God! This prisoner is God? The thought strikes new fear into Pilate's heart. All morning his mind has been bothered by fear of the Emperor, fear of Caiaphas, fear of the Jews. Now comes fear of God. The frightened Pilate must have one more word alone with Jesus. Fearful and ashamed, the governor brings the prisoner into the hall of the palace. Looking upon Jesus, Pilate tries to think. Who is this prisoner? Is he only a poor man from Galilee? Is he from heaven? Is this Jesus only another troublemaker? Or is he the Son of God? Who is this prisoner who stands so silently before him? Pilate asks questions, but Jesus remains silent. "Don't you know," asked the worried governor, "that I have the power to crucify you? Don't you know that I have the power to set you free?" Now Jesus has an answer. His sad, swollen eyes look straight into the frightened eyes of the Roman ruler. "You would not have any power against me unless it were given to you by God. He who gave me up to you is guilty of the greater sin." Christ's answer only frightens Pilate all the more. He cannot understand the strange prisoner who stands before him. Already Jesus has been punished and is now in danger of death, yet he does not try to defend himself. Other prisoners beg for mercy, but this man is calm, unafraid. Leaving Jesus in the palace, Pilate goes back to the crowd standing outside. Once more he argues with the Jews and tries to win mercy for Christ. But the Jews have made up their minds. They will not listen. They know that they have Pilate trapped. "If you free this man," they warn Pilate, "you are no friend of Caesar's." Caesar, the Roman Emperor! Pilate fears his Emperor. If he frees Jesus, the Jews will go to Caesar. This is the threat that they make to Pilate, and their warning works. Pilate fears the anger of Caesar. He will not risk himself any more. He orders the soldiers to bring Jesus before the crowd. "Look at your king," says Pilate when Jesus appears again. The crowd looks at Christ. They see a man who has been half beaten to death, but there is no pity in their hearts. "Away with him!" they cry. "Crucify him!" The Roman governor waits for them to quiet down. "Shall I crucify your king?" he sneers angrily at the crowd. This time Caiaphas and the leaders of the Jews step forth to answer Pilate. "We have no king but Caesar." Again that name of Caesar! Pilate must choose between Christ and Caesar. There is no doubt now what Pilate will do. Earlier this morning Pilate forced the Jews to choose between Christ and Barabbas. To his surprise they chose Barabbas. Now the Jews have the upper hand. They are forcing Pilate to choose between the Man of Sorrows and the Emperor of Rome. Because he is a coward, Pilate must choose the Emperor. Caiaphas and the Jews know that they have won at last, but they wait for Pilate to give the final command that will send Jesus to death. Pilate looks at Jesus and hesitates before speaking. Then the Governor speaks quickly, as if he were ashamed of his own voice. "You must go to the cross." End of chapter 8.